And this is my Elvis room. As you can see, I'm a ginormous Elvis fan. Elvis is for sure the most attractive person that has ever walked the face of the earth, hands down. Apparently this was on Elvis's guitar strap in the 70s and he threw it out. Well, this right here is very cool. These were actual bulbs that were installed at Graceland. There was a piece of carpet hanging loose from the jungle room, so I reached out and it was loose, so I took it and put it in my pocket. I felt bad about it, but that's what it is. I was in Memphis for the 35th anniversary of Elvis's passing. I'm a huge Elvis fan. And I was in Memphis and I had just gotten out of the swimming pool and I was changing and I felt a lump on my breast. And I could tell that it wasn't something that I had had before. It felt different. So I went and got an ultrasound and that was on September 11th. Interesting day. And they knew right away what it was. I remember collapsing on the floor and my dad had to pick me up and I said, I'm so sorry that you guys are gonna have to bury me. And after I was diagnosed, one of the women there came in and I was just devastated. I was crying and she came in and said, you know, there's wonderful care people out there, that you're going to be okay. I'm gonna refer you to my best friend, somebody who's a care coordinator, Lori.
As a cancer care coordinator, it's my job to reach out to people when they first found out they have cancer. So I'm one of the first people they talk to, and I'm her lifeline.
She was actually one of my first appointments I had. I didn't know anything, I thought care coordinator, I don't know even what that is. At that time it was so fresh, I didn't even want to talk about it, and I looked at her and I said, I don't want to talk about this. And she just looked at me so sweetly and folded her hands and put them on the table and said, okay, well, what do you want to talk about? And I remember just sitting there feeling so scared, but that she understood. She said, how about if you have questions, you ask me?
And from there, I'm with her through the whole journey. So that journey looks different for every cancer patient.
From the time of their diagnosis, they basically coordinate their care.
So let me find out about that and get back to you about the timing.
They just become kind of traffic regulators. That's how I describe it to the patient. That they're telling the patient, okay, this is a red signal, you stop here and then you turn here. And this is the next person you're going to meet. So they are kind of just directing their care because it's a maze.
I can't imagine if we had to stay on top of all those things, appointments, who we needed to contact. It wouldn't have worked, and I remember walking away feeling like, okay, well that's what she's going to do. And that was comforting. I went through 16 injections of chemo, and then I had a double mastectomy. And then I had 36 treatments of radiation, which was not fun.
Well, Lori had been extremely helpful because Beth is a very young, breast cancer survivor. So her issues were very different than an older breast cancer patient.
I was concerned about my fertility. That was a big deal for me. I still want to have children, but we couldn't wait to start the chemo.
Lori was excellent. She had all the resources right away. She took care of making an appointment within a few days. Beth didn't want to lose her hair. And again, Lori was right there, coordinating everything, calling the people who do that cold cap therapy, which, makes you, keep your hair.
It's a cap that you wear on your head an hour before chemo, the duration of your chemo, however much time it is, 4 hours, an hour, what have you, and then you wear it 4 hours after chemo. It's 32 below zero. So it feels like you're sticking your head into a frozen lake. It's awful. It worked.
And then I continue to just show up wherever she is. So if the next step is surgery, I'll come to see her in the hospital. I'll call her after the surgery and see how she's doing at home. And come to her chemo appointments if chemotherapy is necessary. So it's just kind of coming, being there, being present. Good to see you. If we can nurture a feeling of wellness instead of fear and anxiety, that you do better, your immune system does better, you cope better, and I think I help foster that.
She's special.
I think if your patient is satisfied, they are going to have an overall positive experience, and I think that really makes a big difference in patient compliance and adherence.
I remember that you were scared. I could definitely tell that.
To me, she could be any face of any woman who has breast cancer. It's her beautiful silhouette that makes her beautiful. I feel like I am a true survivor, and I'm really brave, and I feel like there's nothing life can't throw at me that I can't handle. It showed me how strong I am.
Super easy to be your cheerleader.